And we want to center our focus right now on the Kenya-US Defense Pact, where the US and Kenya signed a defense agreement on Monday that will see the country get resources and support for security deployments as it is poised to lead a multinational peacekeeping mission to Haiti to combat gang violence. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Kenya's Defense Minister Aden Duale signed the accord at a meeting in Nairobi. The agreement guides the country or the country's defense relations for the next 5 years as the war in East Africa against Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab extremist groups intensifies. Austin thanked Kenya for volunteering to take the leadership of the Haiti multinational force and reiterated that the U.S. government will work with Congress to secure the $100 million in funding. Let's listen in.
Monday afternoon, and the United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III, who is in the country, engaged Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale on shared security interest and counterterrorism efforts in the region and globally. The two signed a cooperation framework that would see the United States government support the defense forces in its fight against terrorism.
Under this framework, we are working with them on the whole space of counter-terrorism. We are working with the U.S. in our maritime security. We are working with the U.S. in bringing peace and security within the region, Horn of Africa.
Signing the framework for defense cooperation between our two countries today reinforces the importance of our strategic partnership with Kenya. And it will help guide our bilateral defense relationship for the next 5 years.
The Secretary of Defense, who acknowledged the progress made by troops in peacekeeping mission in Somalia, however, noted that there is need for enhancement of support to Somali people.
Along with military operations, you also need to do things to provide benefit to the people. And so stability operations are really, really important. There are a number of countries in the region that have helped with that force generation, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done.
At the same time, Kenya is set to receive 14.7 billion shillings from United States government in its peacekeeping mission in Haiti, even as calls to other nations to join Kenya in the peacekeeping initiative continues. Kenya's Defense Cabinet Secretary says Kenya is ready to deploy a contingent of 1,000 police officers as part of a UN-backed multinational force. Duale says the country is, however, waiting for approval of deployment from the United Nations Security Council.
We have our officers in the Tigray monitoring and evaluation mechanism. When all the processes, beginning with the approval by the UN Security Council, are put in place, Kenya is ready, Kenya is willing to lead that multinational peacekeeping force that will go to Haiti.
We urge others in the international community to follow Kenya's great example and to step up and to provide more personnel, equipment, support, training, and funding.
Austin landed in the country for a week-long trip to Africa from 23rd of September until the 28th of September. Brenda Zeda Radido, KTN News.
That particular development also is receiving criticism from the civil society. Also, we have our cartoonists as well, just making a light, of course, tongue in the cheek joke there regarding our police in Haiti. They're saying, as you can see, that particular Afande who is aboard that particular car saying, Afande, how do you say Patia Afande kitu ya macho in Haiti? And we have also here, Victor had drawn something as well. Are we in the dark as far as Haiti is concerned? Is the president in the dark with a bucket that has water in it flowing from the pocket holes there? That is a question that people are asking. And this is the squad that is growing over plan to deploy police to Haiti, where we have a civil society raising concerns, especially on human rights record of our police here. This is what is in the Star today on page 10. So we want just to buckle down and discuss this briefly with our panelists. What does this portend 14.7 billion shillings has been, of course, salted away by the US government for this particular exercise. Some are for it, some are not for it. And we've had also letters being written to the African Union in this regard as well. People decrying the fact that we're taking our troops there in Haiti, that we are steamrolling imperialism. And when you talk about our president being used as a pawn in the game of chess. Can we begin with you, Yusuf?
Well, I think it is true that, in fact, our intended intervention in Haiti has come as a surprise because Haiti is not within our sphere. Haiti is not in the African continent. It's not in our region. We do not have any clear economic and political strategic interest. But having said that, I think Kenya has participated in peacekeeping activities all around the world. When I was working for the United Nations, I have met Kenyan troops in East Timor. I've met them in Kosovo and other far-flung areas. And in fact, one of the key people, even in the policing of conflicts, has been Kenyan expertise. Our current Deputy Inspector General, Nur Gabo, is a specialist international police officer who has served at the United Nations headquarters peacekeeping in New York. He has served in Sierra Leone. He's worked on Sierra Leone and Liberia when those countries were at war, and in Kosovo. So we do have that expertise. And I think also it is the president is not a dogmatic president. He is a pragmatic president. Even in his own local politics, he's always been thinking outside the box in terms of the way he conducts his policies, the way he conducted his election campaign and so on. And now also on the international stage, the president seems to be having an open mind in engaging on global affairs on Kenyan terms. And I think in this particular case, it is a terrible mistake to think that in fact Kenya is acting as an agent of the United States. Because what is the interest of Kenya in Haiti, which is a country populated by people of African descent, that is in conflict, that is fallen apart? Shouldn't it be obvious that in fact it is our interest to establish peace and security in that country as much as we can do it? The reason why the United States or Canada, which are nearer to Haiti, are not getting engaged is because they have been involved in failed attempts in micromanaging the issues of Haiti. And Haiti has been occupied several times by the United States. So the Haitian people are not going to welcome an American or a Canadian or a European intervention. But I think there is an opportunity here for us as a country to deploy to Haiti. We should be helping the people of Haiti to get back on their feet. It is a divided society. We're not sending traffic officers, for heaven's sake. We're sending our crack paramilitary unit like the GSU to go and help in relationship with the weak government that is in place in Haiti. And I think in terms of promoting our Pan-Africanism and our contribution to peace and security in the world, the intervention in Haiti does not look out of place for me. I think the issue has been exaggerated, politicized to a certain extent, and some of the discussions that are going in public forums and within civil society seems to be taking it out of proportion.
But don't you find it consternating that we've not had any figurehead from Haiti speaking regarding this? It's only been, other countries lauding what Kenya is doing and urging other nations to join the fray.
But
you have
the world
Secretary
order,
General, you have Biden talking about it. We have
those
Anthony
decisions
Blinken.
are going to be made by the Security Council. They are going to deploy. And if we are going to help it in a positive way as an African country which have no interest in Haiti, we don't want to colonize or to control Haiti. What we are interested in is to have a stable Haiti, is that not in the interest of the Caribbean?
Okay.
Is that not in the interest of Pan-Africanism? To stabilize and have a country that is functioning and at peace with itself.
But what is the Haiti government itself saying? I know you're not in Haiti, but what is the Haiti government's reception to this particular development itself? Because
but the value must understand that Haiti is a failed state. It is a disputed. The government is weak. The former leader was assassinated. They haven't had an election. You have gangs that have taken control of the streets, and there is no possibility of holding a free and fair election to elect a new leader unless there is a neutral force that is going to be deployed, and that can create peace and stability to allow the ordinary people. Not every Haitian is a gang member or a gang leader. Not every Haitian wants this particular conflict. The international community, in this particular case, may be a force for good, a force for change, to help the Haitian people to come together and to decide. And we have already established a diplomatic relationship with Haiti. The president met the leadership of Haiti in New York recently. And so we are going to be part of the solution.
Thank you.
Rather than the problem.
All right, let's hear from Peter Kagwanja.
Well, I think Kenyans would need a very deep background of what Haiti is and why it is important for Africa. First and foremost, it was the first country of black people to liberate itself through the so-called Black Jacobins, and because of that successful anti-colonial liberation struggle, the West ganged up to punish Haiti, and ever since, Haiti has never been stable. Mm-hmm. So it is basically us versus them in those old years that has created Haiti. Haiti is not a failed state. Haiti was never destined in the first place to fail, to succeed. It was never to succeed, because if it succeeded, those are the years, it was going to be a bad example to the rest of the colonized world, including Africa at that particular time, which was already colonized by various European powers. And therefore, Haiti has been at this for very, very many years. We are talking about centuries, not decades, in this particular situation. I don't know how many peacekeeping force that the United Nations has had. I remember when I was in America in 1990s, late 1990s and early 2000, Haiti was the big talk of the time about sending a peace force. I remember participating in one of the conferences on Haiti and so on. So that is the background about it. Mm-hmm. And the big question is, what difference is Kenya going to make in Haiti, mm-hmm. Which America and others have not made? So that's a big question. And therefore, as a nation, we need to reflect on exactly what we want to achieve in Haiti. At the end of the day, what does victory look like for Kenya in Haiti? And for how long are we going to be there? Because those questions are very, very important. And that it's not just about Haiti, it's about our own approach to peacekeeping. Honorable Yusuf has said that this is not, Kenya is not new to peacekeeping or sending police officers at the technical level, the highest technical level. East Timor, Kosovo, Liberia, Namibia, Zimbabwe, all that. We have something to show for what we've done in the past. And therefore, we fit the bill in Haiti. But the big question is, what is it innate for us as a country?
Right. So,
and what is innate for us? That question raises a fundamental issue about the relevance of this vis-a-vis what we're going through. Because next door, ATMIS, that is the African Union force, is withdrawing from Somalia. What kind of a Somalia are we going to have? Are we going to have another Afghanistan where the Taliban sweeps in? Up north, we have a failed peace process in South Sudan. And we are at the heart of it as a key nation in IGAD. And now Ukraine and Russia have taken their battle to Khartoum. They are fighting there in Khartoum. So as a regional leader, what are we doing? And how does that augur, or how does that corroborate our moving to Haiti as a lead team. Do we have that experience to lead, or how are we ensuring that we have that kind of a technical or approach? I know Nur Gabo and other Kenyan officers are very experienced. They're very, very experienced. But we are asking, are we prepared for Haiti, not as participant, but as a lead nation, or we will come back with, let me not say branded nose, but, or having achieved nothing.
Yeah. Because you say that, just to cement on what you're saying, or ask, do we fit the bill? Because the Star is learning that the civil societies, entities in the Caribbean community, which is written here, have reached out to their counterparts here in the country to raise concerns about the impending action. This is the police deployment. And they're complaining that the human rights record of Kenya police, as well as their preparedness to deal with the vicious gangs in their country, is wanting. Others complain that Kenya has allowed itself to serve the agenda of the white imperialists who continue to fund the criminal mafias in Haiti to destabilize it, but pretend to mean good to it. Haiti has a long history of organized crime and violence that has seen its government deposed and leaders killed. Its latest leader to be killed was Jovenel Moise. Multiple missions to it have failed before, and the United States has offered that particular 14.6 billion shillings in defense cooperation deal with Kenya, which entails COPS mission in Haiti. So, is it an issue of panya anauma huku yovuvia?
The bag have been to Haiti.
Right. Can I hear from Dr. Obogi before we come to his?
Okay, sure.
I've not heard his voice for a long while.
Yes,
yes, please.
No, the bag. You see, we have no problem with probably the country having the requisite technical aspects that qualify us for this assignment. As my colleagues and Mheshimiwa here has ably demonstrated, we have done so in East Timor, we have done so in Namibia, even in much more recently, the role Kenyan police played in Southern Sudan, in training them and all that. But I think the question here is not so much on the technical qualification. There are two aspects that we need to very carefully look at. The first one is the perception that is emerging of Kenya vis-a-vis other African countries and the Africans in the Caribbean. There is a perception of us being a playboy, in a program very well managed by the big boys. He who pays the piper calls the tune. Once the United States government has provided the resources and all that, how much independence do we have to use our technical expertise to do the job in Haiti the way it's supposed to be done? We will need as a country, and our president, I'm sure, is aware of this, to manage that perception that Kenya is not being used as, some kind of sounding board in this game of powers trying to score through the small nation of Haiti. That's a perception that needs to be managed, and information needs to be given to all the interested parties within and without. Already, some actors in Haiti have actually, petitioned the African Union to prevail upon Kenya to think twice about this. That's the first thing. The second one We really need to be very carefully. I teach history of revolutions in our world today to my MA students in the university. And one thing is Haiti is the first place that there was a revolution that produced a modern nation, modern African nation out of Africa. Slaves, raised against France, the colonizer then, who took it over. Initially, it was owned by the Portuguese, and then the French took it over. And the blacks in Haiti revolted against the French, and they declared themselves independence in the revolution that ran from 1891 to about 1800s. And then in 1824, the French agreed to give them independence. You're dealing with a country that is war-hardened. What people are calling militia groups. If you see the kind of violence, in fact, there's a sense in which, and forgive my language here, that Haiti is an embodiment of violence. Before the Americans intervened in Haiti in 1915, between 1911 and 1915, they had assassinated 7 of their presidents. If our police force or whoever is going to go there is thinking that this is going to be a walk in the park, it's not going to be. So how are we then managing this and assuring the country that we are not going to begin to see gunbags coming from Haiti when our police officers go there?
Body bags.
Is it going to be a Vietnam for Kenya? Vietnam was a serious blunder for the Americans. And as bodies started coming, the public sentiments were very strong against the American government. Are we ready for that as a country? Because given the history that I have given, given the fact that you are dealing with gangs, that literally kill for a living, and our police officers, well equipped, well trained. I'm not actually questioning their professionalism, but I'm looking at the overly violent situation that they're walking into. So are we prepared? Do we prepare the the in such that if we begin, having things going wrong, how is the government going to deal with that? But the idea that our readiness to help is commendable. But do we understand what we are getting into? When you look at what I loosely call the anatomy of the Kenyan police, which is public knowledge, we are overly, a colonial outfit. We have not been able to disentangle ourselves with a very interesting past where our police force is not necessarily and overly an instrument of law and order. There are certain human rights abuses that have been associated with our police force. For those of us who grew up in the village, you know very well when you are a naughty boy, what your mother will tell you is, I'll call the police, in order to calm you down. You either eat or we call the police. And we had the misfortune of having some of our neighbors who were police officers. So you would be cowed into subservience just by the sheer mention of the name of the Kenyan police. Those are realities that we need to be able to deal with. So are they going to enhance our international stature as a nation if they end up going there, or what is going to happen? You hear the sentiments that are coming up, that our history, the history of the Kenyan police force, has come to haunt us finally. Human rights abuses, oppression, corruption, those things we know that